Look at this wire. It's thinner than a millimeter, about the size of a mechanical pencil lead, or around 2/100ths of an inch. Now, imagine how hard it would be to thread it into a hole just as small, completely blind. For a human, that's already a tough task. For a robot, it was considered damn near impossible for decades. But at the recent ICRA 2026 expo, the A1 robot by TARS proved that it handles this task with ease. What's more, it can perform over 100 of these operations per hour, and it's an official record entered into the Guinness World Records. But the record itself is far from the most interesting part here. The most surprising thing is that for over 40 years, operations like this remained one of the last frontiers where humans clearly outperformed machines, something humans weren't even happy about. The thing is, it's tough work. It requires so much eye and body strain and coordination that most workers quickly burn out and quit. In fact, this is precisely the kind of work humanoid robots were originally created for. But why did it take them so long? Why did tasks like this spend decades as a kind of Mount Everest for industrial robotics? And how can a new breakthrough in brains and hardware bring us closer to a world where robots actually work alongside us in any manufacturing plant? Let's break it all down step by step. First, let's talk about wire harnesses assembly. Why hasn't this been automated over the last 40 years? There are 3 reasons, and each one of them is a separate engineering nightmare. First, the wire is soft. It doesn't have a fixed shape like a rigid part. It bends, twists, and sits differently every single time. Second, the task requires sub-millimeter precision, and the vast majority of robots are incapable of performing such delicate and complex operations. Third, every product at every square inch of a factory floor has its own unique wiring layout, so there's no single solution. This means you can't just program the coordinates once and forget about it. And to this day, this exact work is still being done by real people all over the world. Decades of research, hundreds of scientific groups, and billions of dollars in investments brought the industry to a single conclusion. Dexterous object manipulation remains one of the most difficult and unsolved problems in modern robotics. That was the verdict of the entire industry. And this is where we come to the TARS booth at the recent ICRA 2026 expo in Vienna. Here, the A1 robot performed this precision work using a completely ordinary, 2-pronged gripper. How? The answer lies in the robot's brains. More specifically, in TARS's new Universal General Embodied Foundation Model, AWE 3.0. And to understand why this worked, you have to realize the difference between the old approach and the new architecture. Before, a factory robot was just a blind executor. An engineer would program rigid coordinates for points X, Y, and Z. But if the wire bent even a millimeter to the side, the robot would miss, throw an error, and freeze. The AWE 3.0 model completely changes the game. It is the world's leading AI model that literally understands spatial and physical laws, so the robot can work in the chaos of the real world. It doesn't just see a picture from the cameras, it understands what is happening on the table and why the wire is behaving exactly that way. When the A1 robot reaches out to the harness, the AWE 3.0 system does 3 crucial things. First, it enables robots to triple task success rates under previously unseen viewpoints, delivering stable and reliable operation in complex, dynamic, real-world environments. Literally, this means it doesn't matter how the wire is lying or at what angle the robot's arm approaches it. Second, movement stabilization. A WE 3.0 reduced the shaking of the robot's arm by over 45%. The movements became smooth, natural, and continuous, just like a human assembler. And third, autonomous error correction. If the wire slips out or sits crookedly, the robot doesn't freeze. Through visuo-tactile feedback, the model instantly replans the trajectory, changes the gripper's posture, and tries again until the wire goes into the connector. But that's just one isolated task. What about real-world jobs? The ones made up of a whole sequence of consecutive actions. The challenge here is that it's like a chain reaction where every single step depends on how well you handled the previous one. How does AWE 3.0 cope with that? The answer is right back at the booth. Here, the A1 robot was packing a backpack by using AWE 3.0. It gathered pens and erasers, put them into a pencil case, closed the lid, placed the pencil case inside the backpack, and zipped it shut. A total of 5 actions, 2 hands, and each doing its own job. One holds, the other works. By the way, this asymmetric bimanual coordination is a completely separate challenge for a robot, even though you and I don't even think twice about it. This modest but important task has a serious name, a long horizon task. An error at any stage means the job won't get done right, and a factory assembly line isn't the gold standard here. There, the object is always in the exact same spot, but in real life, that's just not how it works. Here, the system didn't just find each object, it acted sequentially, and whenever it made a mistake, it paused, self-corrected, and only then kept going. This is not a pre-programmed script, it's the ability to adjust your actions on the fly. A robot that isn't afraid to make mistakes and actually fixes them is essentially the turning point where machines leave the lab and step into an ordinary human home, where everything is different every single time. But this brings up a logical question. If the AWE 3.0 model can pull off such precision miracles using a basic mechanical claw, what happens if you give this model a full-scale, anatomically accurate human hand? And this is exactly when TARS pulled out their ultimate trump card, the DexHand robotic hand for humanoids, featuring 21 degrees of freedom. That is dexterity that is very, very close to a human's. To achieve this, TARS literally copied the human hand skeleton one-to-one. But that's not all. They also gave their robotic arm a sense of touch. And the way it works is pretty unexpected. Inside each fingertip, there is a tiny camera with sensors hidden away. When you press a finger against a fabric or other textures, the camera sees this indentation and uses it to precisely reconstruct whatever was touched. According to TARS, this optic system captures textures as thin as 0.05 of a millimeter, and it recalculates the contact pattern over 240 times a second. But it's not even about the numbers. It's about the fact that the hand stops just pressing down on an object with dry mathematical force. It doesn't just read some abstract force of 3 newtons, which is roughly how hard you press an elevator button. It starts to distinguish surface properties like slippery, rough, or hard. And the most amazing thing is that the system doesn't wait for the part to make full contact. According to TARS, DexHand predicts the evolution of contact before it actually happens, and proactively adjusts its grip based on that prediction. This is a real shift from reacting after the fact to predicting before it happens. At TARS, this predictive visuotactile world model is called Omni-VTA. If touch is the hand's nerves, then this is practically a reflex. But no matter how perfect the Omni-VTA reflexes and the AWE 3.0 brains are, engineers ran right into the next, much bigger bottleneck. The model needs something to learn from. It needs gigabytes of data on exactly how human fingers interact with the world, and that data just doesn't exist on the internet. And to solve this problem, not just in theory but for real factories, TARS brought their third development to Vienna, the Sense Hub Data Collection Suite. Essentially, it's a lightweight glove, grippers packed with sensors and cameras that a person puts on their hand to just go work their usual shift. A person puts on the glove, works with their hands, and the system records not just video, but the actual movement, every trajectory, every twist of the wrist. Then it converts that into data the robot trains on. And this is where DexHand's human skeleton-based design comes into play again. Capturing human movements and transferring them to a robot sounds simple, but a robot's hand isn't a human hand. Different proportions, a different number of joints, and the thumb is built differently. Because of that, a movement captured from a living hand usually doesn't fit a robotic hand. It has to be recalculated, translating it from human proportions to mechanical ones. Every single recalculation is a tiny distortion. You won't notice it on the first movement, but by the 100th, it piles up and ruins everything. That's exactly why DexHand copied the hand skeleton one-to-one. When the geometry matches, the movement from the glove transfers to the robot's hand almost directly, with barely any recalculation needed. Usually people start with the hardware. First they build a hand, and then they rack their brains trying to cram human-centric data into it. TARS did the exact opposite. They tailored the shape of the mechanics to fit the data. And this boring, unnoticeable link, the geometric alignment that absolutely nobody pays attention to, is the unsung hero of the whole story. Besides the A1 industrial robot we mentioned before, TARS also showcased a general-purpose humanoid robot. His name is T, and he doesn't insert wires or carry backpacks. He dances and practices Tai Chi to show whole body control. A crowd of onlookers gathers around him, and that's the whole point. But this isn't just for show. In the future, perfect hands and a powerful brain will need to be mounted on a platform that can move freely and operate in any environment. And for that, you need legs and flawless balance control. But before we put this whole puzzle together with this footage, let me add one detail that's easy to miss. TARS didn't show all of this at a consumer electronics show, where people just applaud a robot and move on. They showed it at ICRA, the world's leading academic conference on robotics, where thousands of the top engineers gather every single year. These are exactly the kind of people who can instantly spot a hidden script or clever editing. At events like this, you don't bring half-baked tricks for investors. You bring what you are absolutely sure of. And now, this whole puzzle comes together into a single picture. What TARS brought to Vienna isn't just a collection of scattered exhibits to entertain the public. It's a demonstration of a complete closed-loop ecosystem. Think about it. The SenseHub glove collects clean, undistorted data from real humans. The AWE 3.0 Foundation model transforms that data into physical laws and reflexes. Multiple series of robots provide options for diverse environments, while the DexHand and precision grippers take over the exact sub-millimeter routine that industrial automation has been tripping over for 40 years, also applicable to a wide range of other fine manipulation scenarios. The main takeaway of this ICRA for the industry is simple. The era when robots were just a beautiful storefront and the stars of flashy but heavily edited videos is officially over. The bar for technological expectations has shifted to a whole different level, and any new android will now be judged not by how gracefully it waves its hand at a keynote, but by the most honest and brutal metric: its ability to leave a sterile lab, step up to a real assembly line, and deliver reliability in the chaos of a real, unpredictable world. It looks like TARS just passed that test. Hit subscribe and leave a like if you found this interesting. It really helps us out for the next breakdown. In the meantime, we'll keep looking past the fingers, focusing on what lies behind them.